The following program is sponsored by Your Credit Matters.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Your Credit Matters. I'm your host, Ronnie Lambeth, bringing to you each and every day what I think the banks, the credit bureaus, the collection companies, the mainstream media, the Federal Trade Commission, the Better Business Bureau, what they don't want you to know. That was a long list, wasn't it? But what they don't want you, the American people, the working man, the stay-at-home mom, the people that are working 15, 16 hours a day, trying to just get by, paying their bills just to get by, living paycheck to paycheck. What they don't want you to know is there's a way out. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. No, in fact, you can start saving money. You know, a recent study that I read said that the average American is losing approximately $350 a month due to a poor credit score. That's $350 a month that they're losing because they have credit issues. And that could be you. That's $4,200 a year. You know, I remember in high school, and the economics teacher had the little formula that if at 18 years old, if you invested $2,000 a year for 5 years, so when you were 23 years old, you had $10,000 invested and you put it in the stock market and you got an interest rate of 10%, when you turned 65 years old, you'd be a millionaire. Whereas if you waited just a few years and you started putting in, I think it was like at age 25, if you started putting in $2,000 a year, you would put $2,000 a year for the next 40 years, and you still wouldn't have as much money. And that's because of compound interest. See, the credit card companies, they got this figured out. It's compound interest. The mortgage companies, the banks, these cash call loan sharks have it figured out through compound interest. And what happens is when you have bad credit or a poor credit score, when you have a 710 credit score versus a 750, it's going to cost you. I guarantee you, you're losing money somewhere. Whether it's off your car insurance, your health insurance, your renter's insurance, your homeowner's insurance, whether it's because your credit score is too low for you to get a promotion or you get a security clearance at the military. Maybe it's your credit score is too low to get you a good credit card that will give you rewards and cash back. Maybe it's because your credit score, like my good friend Pete that just called me, Capital One, made a mistake on his credit report. And now he's not able to refinance his $1 million home. And because of that, he's losing literally thousands of dollars over a little mistake that Capital One made. And see, the government knows this. They established the law back in 1971 called the Fair Credit Report Act. And this law states that the information reported must be accurate. And when I was talking to Pete this morning, he said, you know, I talked to everybody at Capital One, Rondi, and what they said was they couldn't do anything because the law requires them to report it. Well, that's not true. The law requires them to report accurate information. It doesn't require them to report any information. In fact, it is solely to the discretion of the furnisher if they want to report the account to the credit bureaus or not, because it costs them money. And the government cannot force any business or any consumer to do business with any other company in the United States. Let me explain. The Federal Trade Commission cannot force us as consumers to use Microsoft. They can't force us to use a Mac computer. We have choice. And so businesses also have a choice on what companies they use as providers. And so Capital One, for example, does not have to report to Experian if they don't want to. They don't have to report to Equifax. They don't have to report to LexisNexis. They don't have to report to TransUnion. They can pick and choose, or they can pick and choose to report to all three. It is up to them, just like it's up to you on who you use for your bank account or your business account or what kind of car you drive. So we have a choice. Otherwise, it would be a monopoly. So when these businesses, they come out and they say, like they did to Pete, well, under the Fair Credit Report Act, we have to report this information. That's not true. They just have to report it accurately. So they can remove it at any time. So speaking of removing it at any time, I'm going to do something a little different today on the show. And that is, I'm going to actually audit a listener's credit report. They emailed it into us. His name is Jack. So I'm going to actually audit his credit report right here on live TV, explain exactly what I'm seeing. And so that way, when you look at your credit report, you understand it. And we probably won't get all the way through his credit report because it usually takes me an hour to an hour and a half. But I'm going to try. And whatever I don't finish up today, we'll finish tomorrow. So with that, that's going to come up next. We actually are going to go over Jack's credit report and audit it. In the meantime, if you need to get a hold of me, feel free to give me a call, 888-900-3678. That's 888-900-3678, or simply go to my website, badcreditisachoice.com. Again, that's badcreditisachoice.com. Hi, this is Rondi, host of Your Credit Matters. Did you know that nearly 75 million Americans have mistakes on their credit report? And according to recent studies, these mistakes could be costing you thousands of dollars each and every year. Can you really afford to throw away thousands of dollars each year? If you're sick and tired of having poor credit due to inaccuracies, you owe it to yourself to get your credit fixed today. Now, I've helped thousands of people, many of them just like you, improve their credit by getting thousands of inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete items like a bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, judgments, late pays, collections removed permanently and legally from their credit report. Now, I'm hosting a seminar on January 21st at noon at the DoubleTree Hotel. The event is free, but you must RSVP to reserve your space, as space is limited. So to RSVP for the free event, please go to badcreditisachoice.com and click on the seminar button and put in your information, and I'll send you all of the details that you need to make sure that finally, in 2012, you can finally have the life you've always wanted to live, and you can finally have the credit score that you actually deserve. Again, to RSVP, simply go to my website, badcreditisachoice.com. Again, that's one more time, badcreditisachoice.com. Simply click on the button right above the video that says seminar. Fill in your information. I'll email you your ticket, the confirmation, the address, the map, and all of the information you're going to need to attend the seminar. If you don't have access to a computer, that's okay. Give me a call, 888-900-3678. Again, that's 888-900-3678. When you call in, simply tell my receptionist your name and your phone number, and I'll call you back and get you the details of the event. I look forward to meeting you there. In the meantime, have a great day. And oh, by the way, make sure you tune in to listen to my show tonight right here on K-Praise at